Hello everybody, welcome back to Resin. So today I'm going to be trying something a little different, not sure how it's going to work, but a lot of you know that I am in Oregon and I have a new little grandson, and my daughter just moved here, a different daughter moved here with her family, and so I've been up here visiting and things. Well, another reason why I'm up here is because my mother passed away last July. Okay, she was 94 years old. And so another reason that I'm here is to help clean out her house and unfortunately get it ready to sell. And there's just been a lot of, memories and emotions that go along with that. So while we were cleaning, actually it was one of my nieces that was there, that we were coming across rolls of contact paper and shelf liner, drawer liner, which is kind of what I think this might be. This is really pretty. It's kind of a 1950s roll, or at least looking roll. It is lined with this kind of a fuzzy thing. Okay, so it's actually a really soft, cushy, it's a cushy sheet. So what I did is I took some of that, I cut it off, and I'm just going to try this. And if this works, I'm going to try to make one for all the girls in my family, my sisters and my daughters and nieces, etc. So I have taken, hang on, I'm going to put you on silent while I take off this loud wrapper. Okay, so I took my tray mold here and I outlined the outside of it with this roll, and I got this. Okay, so I thought, gosh, wouldn't this make just a really pretty, like a keepsake tray for everybody to have? Everybody can pick out their own, the contact paper or whatever, the shelf liner, whatever they find that my mom had that they liked. And I thought about making this kind of clear, where it would be kind of a, I don't know, my youngest daughter, who just turned 16, she thinks I should put white under this. She doesn't really think it would look right clear. And she thinks that the pink would really pop a lot more with the white behind it. But I don't know what it is. There's something about it that I like, just with just the clear. Gosh, I don't know. But maybe what I'll do is, if this works, this one could just be hers, and I will go ahead and make it with the white background. Okay, so because this is a tray, I'm going to put handles on it. I'm going to work from the bottom up, which is kind of nice sometimes, because then you can really kind of see what you're doing. I've got 8 ounces of J. Diction resin made up already. And so if I do put white in here, I am going to want to do just a really thin layer, honestly. Not very much at all, because I need to have room to put that. I did peel as much of all that fuzzy stuff off the back as I could get. Okay, it came off pretty easily, really. I just peeled it off with my fingers. A lint roller would have been helpful as well, but didn't have anything like that with me right then. Let's see, if I did, gosh, how many ounces do you think I need to cover the bottom of this? This is 4. Let's give it a try. Hopefully I've got some kind of white pigment here. I didn't even think about that. Oh, well, I do have my white Cast and Craft, but see if I've got some, get my my Sig Wong micro powders out, see if I can find a white. We'll give it a try. Take one of my sticks here. This is a big craft stick, so I'm not going to put as much in as I'm not going to put as much in as I would as if I was using a small craft stick. Well, this is a really pretty, okay, so this is one reason why I really like the Sig Wong mica powders because it's staying a real pearly, silvery white. It mixes with the J Diction really well. Okay, it's definitely very translucent still. Put a couple drops of Cast and Craft in here. Kind of brighten it up a bit. Ended up being kind of more like a couple of squirts of Cast and Craft and not a couple of drops. I usually use the Resin, I think it's called Snow White pigment paste that comes in a jar. That's usually the white that I'll use for my pigment when it comes to something like this, but didn't bring it with me. So this works just fine. Okay, that's better. That's a lot more white. Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and place it over here on my, I'm going to go ahead and pour it. Let me do a quick spray of alcohol on my mold. I get questions almost every video of people saying, what is it you're spraying and why? And I'm spraying 91% isopropyl alcohol. I spray my molds lightly before I pour to help prevent bubbles forming on the surface of the mold. And then I usually spray again after I pour to prevent bubbles from, not prevent, but to pop the bubbles that are coming up. Okay, it's just kind of a normal thing most people do, or use a heat gun, or some people will use a torch. But I have found I don't need either of those for the bubbles. I just need the alcohol. It works great. If you're going to do a 3D flower or something, though, you do kind of need a heat gun or something to blow your petals out and things. But okay, so that was 4 ounces. Obviously, that's not going to be enough. Even if I spread this out, that is obviously not going to be enough. Okay, hopefully 8 ounces will be enough. Let's see here. Give this a try. Pour the rest in here. And I'm going to pour. Okay, so here's our silvery white. Okay, now hopefully this is enough to cover this bottom layer because it's all I got made up right now. And you can see that this is 2 different shades of white. And that's okay. We'll kind of blend it together. There we go. Make sure I get out here to the edges. This looks like it's still going to give us about 1/4 of an inch to work with, which would be just about right. I want this to be cured, gosh, pretty much all the way. I mean, it can be, doesn't have to be completely hard, but pretty cured. I don't want, when I put the pink floral thing on here, I don't want the white to bleed up over the top of it at all. Okay, and that definitely can happen. This stuff is so fluidy that it really can do that. So there we go. We just got some nice swirls in there now. And I'm actually going to see if I can drag this over and put it on my, I'm going to put this over here on my heat mat, hopefully. Anyway, I'm going to do that. And when this is cured, I will be back for the next step. Okay, I'll see you all then. Hello, everybody. Okay, we're back. This is completely cured. And you can see it's actually just kind of a white Really actually kind of a white, almost a marbly effect in this. It's really pretty. So this, you know, this is the top. The back will probably look really similar to this when we unmold it. But I've made up 8 ounces of J. Diction resin. And I'm going to go ahead and pour just a little bit in here. Not very much. I just want enough to cover the bottom, really, so that I can try to lay our little piece of like drawer or shelf liner in there. I'm really hoping that this is going to turn out the way I want it to. I really hope. Okay, so that is pretty well spread around in there. Whoa, almost dumped that whole thing over. That would have not been good. All right, let's see if I can find my paper towel and wipe this off. Mostly covered. Let's go ahead and get this and see if I can remember which way it goes. I think it goes just like this. So let me go ahead and hopefully kind of get this in. Thinking about how much easier this would have been if this would have been a rectangle tray and not one of these ones with the wavy decorative edges. Although this is pretty, I don't think that this would float up to the top. I think it's going to be too heavy for that. All right, there we go, you guys, so far. You know, I'm not sure how much of these air bubbles I'm going to try to get out. Because I do have that, gosh, because it does have that little bit of a fuzziness behind it. Gosh, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and pour a bit over the top too. So kind of give it some more depth. And hopefully some weight to keep it laying down flat. I don't want it to buckle up. I was thinking about just letting that little flat layer cure before we put over a top layer here. But I changed my mind, obviously. This doesn't have to be super thick, but I definitely want to protect this. And I'm not sure how this is going to do. This is got like a shiny plastic top. Go ahead and pour over this part. Looks like it's kind of... Okay, so this took 8 ounces. That whole 8 ounces that I made up went into this tray. So that's kind of good to know. Can't remember exactly. I think we used 8 ounces for the white, if I remember right. I think we used a whole 8. So that would be 16 ounces. I'll have to go back and look at the beginning of the video and see if that is what I said. But yeah. All right. So I do see a couple of places here that the thin top coat of that. Okay, so we got a couple bubbles. Maybe I should try to bring some of those bubbles up. All right, you guys. So that is completely done with that 8 ounces. And as I look back around it, I see that this tray is still not completely full. Almost. But gosh, I feel like I could put probably another 2 or 3 ounces in it. I'm going to go around the edges and just make sure I've got any bubbles around here. Definitely got those the fuzzies coming down off of there. I'm going to go around and just make sure that I've got any bubbles around the edges here taken care of. Not sure how this is going to turn out, but I'm really hopeful. So this will probably be when I need to place my handles. Gosh, I almost forgot. Wouldn't that have been something? All right, let me wash my gloves off here real quick, and then I will show you what I've got. Okay? Okay, I've got silver, which I don't think I'm going to want silver. Here's the gold. I kind of might, I feel like the gold would be really pretty with this, kind of more with the era, the time period. The gold would look nice. And then these might be too busy, but I don't know. Let's look. Here is some gold. These are like sticks or twigs. I thought about those too. Those could be really pretty in this. Let me think here really quick. Here's also a bronze color. A little too dark. And then these twigs also came also in silver. And yeah, I definitely don't like the silver or the bronze with that. It's too dark. So I think I've narrowed it down here to either the gold twigs or this color of gold. This is definitely more yellow. This is definitely more of a true gold color. You can see the difference here. What do you guys think? Gosh, come and tell me. Help me. Okay, let's see. Gosh, you guys, these are so pretty. And this is such a special, this tray is such a special tray. I feel like this kind of a thing would be nice. That one's kind of standing okay. All right, I think this is going to stand up okay too. There we go, you guys. I think, gosh, that's going to be really pretty. Since we've got this really pretty gold, is I'll go around and I'll do gold edging all the way around the edge. And that'll bring it, hopefully kind of tie it all in together. All right, I'm going to give it a quick spray of alcohol. All right, we're going to let this cure, you guys. And then when it's done, I'll be back and we'll unmold it and we'll finish it up. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in just a while. Okay, everybody, the tray is completely cured. It has been sitting and it turned out really, really pretty. What do you think of this? It's just, the colors have turned out really nice and I feel it's still a little bit bendy. Not bad, but just a little bit. And I'm really excited to get this out of the mold. And you know, the white part of this has been sitting for a couple of days, so this part of it should be really nicely cured. And you know, I'm really hoping that this handle that I chose is not too yellow, you know, too bright of a gold for this tray, but so far I'm actually really liking it. This mold is so flexible and thin. I really like it because it's so super easy to get your project out of the mold. The pattern turned out really well. There's no problems with the resin not sticking to the top of that. I was really worried about that because it was a really shiny plastic, plasticky something. I don't even know really what it was, but you can see a few of those little piled up bubbles that came through there. You don't really notice it just when it's sitting out, but if you were to look for it, you can see them a little bit. There's a few places. I don't know if it's picking it up here on the camera or not, but it's not too bad. So the resin got up underneath that clear plastic, and we did get bubbles. It was kind of almost impossible to avoid that. But gosh, it really is turning out really pretty. I think it's really doing justice to the memories of this paper. Okay, you can see the real kind of a nice definite line there in the clear coating we did on the top and the white on the bottom. It's really pretty, really no bubbles formed through there. It's really actually turned out really, really nice. Our handles are set in there nice and deep, and they cured in there really well. I feel like they're really secure, and they're just the perfect distance in my opinion, to the edge. So I'm going to take my gold leaf pen here from Deco Color and go ahead and do the rim here. And I think it's really going to tie our handles in together with this. Okay, we're going to take our, this is kind of a wide tip. We're going to find the halfway mark on the tip here and just really go along this edge, and we don't want it overpowering. I just want a really light, delicate gold trim around this edge. And when you find your halfway mark on your felt tip of your pen, it really just gives it a nice little ledge to go all the way around and give your project a really nice finished look. There, that's kind of better lighting, I think. One thing you want to do is make sure that your pen is working really well before you get started. Can make a real difference, because if you start or you don't have a lot of your paint um, coming through, it can really give a kind of a light, almost smeared texture, when you're going around the edge. And if you want it to be a really nice, uniform thickness and just kind of more of a professional layer, just really make sure you get the ink going, or the paint. Some of these are paint pens and paint markers, and some of them are ink. So whatever it is, just make sure you've got it going really well before you get started. It's always a good idea to go back over it too and find the areas that aren't quite, maybe as thick, or the width isn't just right. But you can go back and just kind of even it up when you're done. And oh my gosh, I think that this just turned out really pretty. Really pretty. I love it. It's really special. This one will stay probably with me, or with my youngest daughter that lives here with me. And yeah, really, really happy with it. And I hope you all enjoyed doing this project with me. It was special. And gosh, I'm excited to do the other ones and see what my other family chooses for their pattern. But thank you again, and I will see you all next time. Thanks so much for joining me.